Hi everyone, this is a quick and dirty guide to how to find your research articles for Much Ado About Nothing. Okay, so we're going to go to Academics, Library. This takes you to the virtual library page. This is the same page you hit when you click on SCC Virtual Library in Canvas. Click on Virtual Library. First off, I really want to show you this Ask Your Librarian. We, the Solano College librarians, are on these hours. You can also use it 24/7. You just may get a librarian at another library. But you just put in your information here and start your chat and just say you're looking for a research article on Much Ado About Nothing. It needs to come from an SCC database and it needs to be literary criticism. Just kind of talk about what is in the assignment and the librarian will help you find an article. But for our purposes, I'm also going to show you here. So what's available? Library database is A to Z. And then I'm going to choose literature. Now, I know that Professor G recommended Gale as one of them, and you may have gone to it and found nothing. The same thing happened for me. You really need to think about this sort of searching as going to the mall and looking for a pair of shoes that you know exactly what you want. And sometimes you have to try different stores. So sometimes where we assume something will be ends up not being there. And that's what happened in the case of Gale. So just skip the Gale one and come back to it maybe for another literature assignment because it might have good stuff for that other topic. But Much Ado About Nothing, surprisingly, wasn't a lot there. MLA is where we're going to hang out, and Literary Reference Center. So both of these are hosted by EBSCOhost, so they look quite alike. We'll go into MLA. Now, the key here is we are title searching. So when you title search, you are going to put in the title into quotes, and that is you telling the database that you want exactly what is in those quotes and not split your words up all over the place. I made a mistake doing this before and I put Much Ado Nothing in quotes and it came back and said we have nothing because I forgot the about and I said in quotes. So it looked for Much Ado Nothing, which of course didn't come up. Just remember you're the driver here. So if you're not finding what you need, then keep playing with it. There's a lot of limiting options here. I'm not going to hit any of them right now because I want to see what we get and then I'm going to limit. So go ahead and I'm going to hit search and I go, oh, I get 574. That's a lot. And plus I know that I have to do some limiting because Professor G has certain, what's the word I'm looking for? Parameters that she wants you to follow. But right away, there's probably some stuff we could pull, but let's go ahead and limit it down a bit. So we know we want full text, right? We know that we want scholarly journals, yeah? So that takes us to 125. 125, in my opinion, is a doable list to go through. You could limit it to academic journals, which is the same thing as peer-reviewed. Nothing's perfect here. So when you think to yourself, that makes no sense, clearly, but you know, it's a product and that's what we use. So there's all these titles come up, Reading Masculinity and Much Ado About Nothing, Fortunes of Fame, excuse me. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit. There are some reviews in here of productions of Much Ado About Nothing. Josh, you know, movies, right? But you'll start coming to titles that look good. And do notice that there are 5 pages of titles. So you just need to go through it. I'm going to choose this one, I Will Stop Your Mouth, because I think that that's a great title. And do a quick look. So the page number range is here. So we're within the page number range. And it's an academic journal, and I'm going to click on the title, and here is the electronic text, and then I can do a quick run down to the bottom and see, oh, look, there's my reference list, another requirement. So this article already is meeting what we need. And then I've got the article here. You can print it up. You can email it to yourself. You can have it cite for you. You can go to the PDF full text and see what it looks like printed up in the journal itself. Okay. So just remember, it takes a little time and a little bit of poking around, but you will get there. And really, when you're not finding things, it has a lot to do with how you're entering them. And if you're not finding things, get onto the chat and ask a librarian. Okay. So if I want to go back to my hit list and I decide I don't like that, then I could say, well, what's interesting here in circling the nuptial in As You Like Him, Much Ado About Nothing. That's actually about two plays, but click on that. And I haven't actually looked at this one, so, oh, it doesn't have HTML, so you have to go to the PDF. Okay, and then read through, and then we're going to do a quick run to the end and see, is there a reference list? Yes, there is. Okay, so we're doing okay. Okay, then it's up to you to go through and find the argument and do the things that Professor G wants you to do. Okay, now I'm going to go back. Sorry, we're going to do a little back keying because I want to get to the database list, literature. And I'm going to choose a Literary Reference Center. As I said, this is also an EBSCO product, so it looks like you're in the same database. Sort of, you'll see in the search. You always, when it says searching and then the database, that's how you kind of get an idea. So again, we're going to do Much Ado About Nothing and hit search. Now, the key here is that you need to, again, limit out the stuff you don't want. So we know that we want full text. We can try the references available. I haven't actually played with that one. What I do know that I want, though, is literary criticism, right? So then we get these 19 that are literary criticism. And again, okay, so now we've got this Encyclopedia of Literary Characters. Now, doesn't make sense. It's a book. It's not supposed to be in there. It is what it is, right? Here's one. This one looks good. The Reclamation of Language and Much Ado About Nothing. I can check my page numbers. It's 27 pages. It's an academic journal. So let's go see what it has. So this one's talking about language and Much Ado About Nothing. And then again, we can scroll down and hit our references. These look more like these are footnotes, but the same idea as what Professor G is looking for. Okay. Now, I don't want you to get completely hung up on trying to find the perfect article. The idea here is to learn how to use an academic journal article on literary criticism. Okay, so find something that looks interesting to you, but don't get panicky. And again, ask for help from a librarian if you need it.